If you were to ask most AutoCAD users what their favorite command is, undo would most likely be their answer. Let's face it, we all make mistakes, and when we do, it's nice to know that the undo command will let us put things back the way they were. I'd like to go over the undo command, so let's open up a drawing. I'm going to come up and click my Open icon, and in the Select File dialog, we're going to go inside Chapter 7 of the Exercise Files folder, and we'll grab the number 5 drawing, the Undo Redo. We'll highlight this and click Open. I've got a metric example on my screen. This is a metric socket wrench with a couple of sockets along the top. One of them is still unfinished. Now, in order for me to demo the undo command, I need to do something first. Let's take and finish this socket. I would like to create an 8-sided polygon. So I'm going to come over to my Draw toolbar and I'm going to click on my polygon icon. AutoCAD's asking me to specify the number of sides. Let's try 8. Enter. Specify center of polygon. I happen to have a running object snap of center, so I'm going to put my AutoCAD cursor on top of my arc and click. This guy's going to be circumscribed about the circle, and I'm going to create him with a radius of 5 and hit enter. Now he's a little bit too small. That's all right, because we're previewing the undo command. We can always take that away. I want to do one more thing. Let's zoom in on our thumb switch. Let me pan this guy to the middle of the screen. Let's say we wanted to rotate this switch so it wasn't in this position. I'm going to launch my rotate command. AutoCAD's asking me to select objects. I'll select the switch and this circle. I can right-click to finish the selection, and I want to rotate them around the center of the switch. I happen to have a running object snap, so I'll put my cursor on the arc and click. And for my rotation angle, this is going to be accidental. I only want to rotate them a little bit, but I'm going to type in 180 and hit enter. That's obviously wrong. That's an accident. Didn't mean to do that. Let's put it back the way it was. I can do that by using the undo command. If I come up to the top of the screen, notice I've got this little backwards facing arrow. This guy represents undo. If we look to the right of this arrow, notice I've got a little grayed out arrow. This guy represents the redo command. I only point that out because he is grayed out right now. Notice when I click undo to back up, my thumb switch goes back the way it was, and now we have access to the redo command. If I undo a command and then I decide that, I didn't want to do that, I can always put it back by clicking redo. Notice if I click redo, he'll go right back the way he was. A redo can only follow an undo. So let me click undo again to put him back. He's back in his original position. I want you to notice that both the undo and the redo contain little drop-down arrows. This means that I can undo and redo multiple steps at one time. If I click the drop-down, I've only done 2 things so far in this drawing. I can back up to the point prior to where I created my polygon. Let me click, and notice I've backed up to that state. Redo is also available. If I want to go all the way forward again, I can click my redo drop-down, and I can come all the way back down to rotate. So the undo and the redo commands will allow me to go forward and backward through time to let me correct or make changes to my geometry. The undo command is kind of like an insurance policy. No matter what we may do to our drawing, we can always use the undo command to go back and restore our geometry. And if undo was not what we intended, we can always use the redo command to restore our entities.